No, he's presenting this as a direct admission from the country's own prime minister. So let's dig into the main allegation here. What No Main's post is saying is that the prime minister, apparently under public pressure, basically admitted that $56 billion, money that's been spent every year since 2019, has pretty much just vanished. Poof, gone, without any real, meaningful results for the nation to show for it.
But here's the thing. The Post doesn't just stop with that bombshell headline. To try and back all this up, No Main actually dives right into the numbers. And he claims he's pulling these figures directly from the government's own official financial reports. So what exactly is he pointing to in these reports? Well, he flags what he sees as the core financial problems. We're talking about major issues, like a huge collapse in revenue from liquefied natural gas and a really significant tax shortfall. You add that to the deficit from the year before, and you've got a massive hole in the budget.
The Post then connects these dots to paint a picture of what looks like a really dangerous cycle. The argument goes like this. These massive funding gaps left the government with no choice but to take on almost 5 billion kina in new loans from places like the IMF and Australia. And what does that do? It just pushes the national debt even higher.
And the end result of this cycle? According to No Main's post, the country's total national debt has just ballooned to 65 billion kina. Now, to put that in perspective, he claims that's a whopping 52% of the country's entire gross domestic product. That is a huge number.
Okay, I get it. These are all huge abstract numbers. It's easy for our eyes to just glaze over. But this is where the Post tries to make it real. It connects this alleged financial crisis directly to what's happening on the ground, to the real-world experiences of everyday people and the state of their public services. See, No Man argues that the real proof of these failed budgets isn't buried in some dusty financial report. He's basically challenging people to just open their eyes and look at the reality on the ground. Go to the hospitals, he says. Go to the police stations and the schools and see for yourself how he claims public servants are struggling just to do their jobs.
And this is where we get to the alleged human cost of all this. The Post claims this financial mess leads directly to failing public services in health and education. But it goes even further than that. It alleges that the budget has actually been weaponized, used as a tool to divert money to political buddies while intentionally starving the districts of political opponents. In fact, the Post puts a name to this alleged practice: selective warranting. So what does that mean? It's basically the idea that the government is handing out approved budget money based on who its friends are. And of course, No Main claims this is exactly why his own district has been left high and dry. So after laying out all these alleged problems and what he sees as the consequences, the Post makes a big shift. It moves from just making accusations to calling for actual action. It really ends with a